Shalom. I've just moved to Israel, so I need to practice my Hebrew a bit. Never done a conference talk either, so bear with me. I'm here for my PhD. It's part of a bigger project that Ariane's leading, and we're looking at the important roles that canes play in different parts of the world, and the way they shape ecosystems through their interactions with prey and smaller predators and their interactions with people. So quite a bit of work's been done in North America and Australia. Ariane's been involved in a lot of the Australian work, looking at dingoes, looking at these interactions of wolves and dingoes with their prey and and how they can shape ecosystems through trophic cascades. So what happens when you remove an apex predator, such as a canid, from the ecosystem? A really good example has been shown in Yellowstone National Park in North America. In the 1920s, they got rid of wolves and just noticed massive changes in the ecosystem. So apex predators can apex predators shape ecosystems, I guess, in two main ways. They firstly through the impact on their prey, and second through interactions with mesopredators or smaller predators. So Yellowstone was a really good example of the prey impacts of trophic cascades. So they got rid of wolves in the 20s, massive increase in the deer and elk and red deer populations and the mesopredator coyote populations. But the elk and red deer made a massive impact on the ecosystem. They destroyed all the vegetation, which destroyed habitat for a lot of species. And the rivers were just destroyed, erosion, a lot of erosion because the banks weren't stabilised from the vegetation, and it just destroyed a lot of habitat for aquatic species and for terrestrial species. And then in the 90s they reintroduced wolves, and that reduced the elk and red deer populations and brought the coyote populations back down. A lot of the smaller prey for the coyotes came back, the trees came back, the rivers changed the way they flowed. Bears and beavers were able to, bears could feed off the fruit from the trees, beavers used the trees and dammed the rivers, and a lot of scavengers came back. And there's a really good documentary, 4.5-minute documentary on YouTube called How Wolves Change Rivers. So if you haven't seen that yet, it explains it a lot better than I do. So, the direct mortality effects of predation are not the only things that change the ecosystem. The behavioural effects are just as important. So prey change their behaviour as a response to predation, as not just getting killed. So there's two main effects of... Hang on, I'm just going to get my notes out. Sorry, I get a bit flustered when I'm talking. So there are two main ways in which prey change their behaviour, and that first is avoidance, so they avoid areas where they know there's predators, and second is through increased vigilance. As we all know what meerkats do with their sentinel. So by measuring these risk effects, we can map landscapes of fear as topographies throughout the landscape. So I was talking to Bert earlier today about landscapes of fear, and he's done quite a bit of work with Laundre and Joel Brown, looking at you can map through different risk levels through the environment, through the landscape. So map as in peaks and valleys, like not actual peaks and valleys in the landscape, but metaphorical, I guess, of high risk being the peak, low risk being the valley. And we want to see if prey or smaller predators that change their behaviour for as a response to predation risk try to navigate through the valleys and avoid the peaks. And then with these landscapes of fear, we can overlay maps into the landscape, a topographic map showing high risk levels and low risk levels and medium risk levels. So this is an example of the mesopredator side of trophic cascades. So in Australia, Ariane's quite involved with this work. Foxes are, sorry, 2 seconds. Yeah, so foxes have always been seen as pests in Australia because of their impact on our native wildlife, and cats as well. And as Ariane was saying, well, we've always called them invasive species, but now we should start calling them migratory species. We've brought them there, they're there to stay. Killing doesn't work. There was a big study done last year in Tasmania, and they were looking at the effects of killing feral cats. And they found that the more cats they killed, the higher the population grew. Because if you kill a dominant male cat with a territory that big... Am I holding this microphone so close?
No, it's good.
Do I even need the microphone? I don't...
You hear that?
Hey?
You're doing well.
No, I'm not. You kill a dominant male cat with a territory that big, you get 4 other male cats coming into that territory into 4, and they're all breeding males, so the population keeps growing. But yeah, because of this, foxes have always been seen as pests, and we've always killed them, and we now know that doesn't work. But what we've found, and what Ariane and other people have found, is that areas where dingoes are, there aren't really foxes, because the dingoes keep suppress the fox populations. So when we kill dingoes, because we kill dingoes all over Australia, for livestock depredation or even in national parks, they shoot dingoes. You get a boom in the fox populations, and then a lot of our smaller marsupials and smaller mammals and smaller birds and everything are going down. But then if we keep dingoes around, we suppress the fox population, and we have more of the smaller mammals that the fox, or smaller animals that the foxes are eating. These are a couple of maps of Queensland from the 1950s. So each of these dots is a dead animal. 5 dead animals. So there was a bounty on dingoes and foxes in the 1950s. This one shows 5 foxes. Each one of those dots is 5 foxes, killed foxes. And then each one of those is 5 dead dingoes. So there's not much overlap between the foxes and dingoes, because the dingoes are suppressing the foxes. And I'm going to stop using that, I think. That's a distraction. So there's a honours student in our group with the Centre for Compassion and Conservation, and he's looking at fear in foxes towards dingoes, and I'm going to be replicating this over here, looking at fear in foxes towards wolves. So I'm going to be mapping these landscapes of fear through the different trophic levels. So starting with hang on, I'll get to that in a sec.
But looking at, so with this, we're setting up a few, each site has, or each station has 4 different treatments, and we've got a camera facing a lure to get foxes to, like, attract foxes. And then each treatment we're going to use scent marks. So we're going to work out whether foxes in Australia avoid coming to food where there's dingo scent, and over here avoid coming to places where there's wolf scent. And as I said, with dingoes in Australia, all over the world, unfortunately, large canids are persecuted because of livestock depredation. And sorry about this morbid photo, but a lot of farmers in Australia hang dead dingoes up to try and warn others to stop coming around their property. Oh shit. Cheers. So yeah, through that we humans create these landscapes of fear for predators. But what makes Israel an interesting place to study? Firstly, there's an interesting mix of biodiversity here, being at the junction of Africa and Eurasia, mix of African and Eurasian wildlife. Secondly, the human dimension. You've got in relation to wolves, you've got border effects. So wolves are legally protected in Israel, but they're not in Jordan or the other neighbouring countries. So in the late 90s, there was a study done that showed radio shark wolves crossed into Jordan and got shot. And I was chatting to Adnan from Jordan earlier, so we're going to try and get some sites there to have a look at behavioural responses to risk in Jordan compared to Yarrabah. And this is particularly there are some minefields around here, but wolves are quite protected around here. But up in the Golan, where Itamar is, he is watching a pack of wolves that live in a minefield, and when they come out of the minefield, they're very vigilant, and you can just tell their behavioural changes when they come out of this safe haven of the minefield where they're not getting shot. So by knowing certain landscape features like borders where there's no legal protection there but there is here, or agriculture where wolves are getting shot because of livestock depredation, or militarised areas like minefields where wolves are safe because they're not getting shot, we can map varying risk zones. So we can overlay this topographical map that shows the different risk zones, with the red being high risk, green being low risk, and that's what we would predict for a wolf. And then if we go down to the next trophic level, to a fox or a prey, we expect these to change order. So now that I'm here, what do I plan on doing? I need to get a bunch of GIS layers and a bit of GIS skills through Yohei, hopefully. So I need to map wolf distribution through in this area, find out where all the militarised zones are, national parks and nature reserves, agriculture, predicting in certain areas there'll be high risk for wolves, other areas like down here maybe not so high, but still not low risk as low as a militarised zone. And the different wolf conservation practices between countries and through Israel with protection in different areas. Down here no wolves are getting shot, but up in the Golan quite a few are. And as Alon said earlier, with the wolf being poisoned there 3 weeks ago. And then I want to test whether wolves prefer low risk areas and avoid high risk areas. So I'm going to use camera traps and tracking to get to do abundance surveys and scat collections and things like that. And then with the camera traps, run that experiment I was showing you before to test behaviour. And then do the same for prey and mesopredators towards wolves. And then investigate wolf prey interactions versus dingo prey interactions. So collaborating with Eamon in Sydney with his fox dingo project. So I'm predicting that militarised areas, minefields, etc. will have an impact on the food chain through our interaction with wolves, causing trophic cascades, as we're shooting wolves in certain areas where we're not in others. And thank you all for listening. Thank all of these people very much for bringing me over here and giving me this great opportunity and looking after me. And sorry about myself.
It's all right. Big round of applause for the first time.